What's going on YouTube? Welcome to a new episode. It's your boy RBS, as you already know. Another episode of the Training for Victory series. We are now 6 weeks out of the Arnold Classic. The last video we were 9 weeks out. Time's going fast, guys. 6 weeks. 6 weeks until I step on the biggest stage that I've ever stepped in all those years of competing. So shit is getting real, I'm so excited. Like, I'm getting more excited as we're getting closer to the show. And I think the reason why as well is because we're making so much progress every week. This prep has been the hardest prep I ever done, but the hardest and the best and the smoothest, if I can put all them together. The result, we can see the result. Like, I want to check myself when we do the weekly check-in, and we can see the body making the progress that it needs to do. We're looking already better than we did at last year when we were 6 weeks out of my pro debut. So that's already one thing that's already been done, which is to look better. Well, touch wood anyway, as long as I stay injury free to the end. But the goal is always to make sure that when we step on stage, we're looking better than the last show. And so far, we're on the right track. So, me and my brother, we're very happy with the progress that we're making for this prep. Like I said, it's the hardest prep. I'm training like a madman while I'm at the gym. Like, I'm on the mission. I'm in the mission, and the goal is to come with a physique that hopefully will be undeniable in the eyes of the judges and get that win. So it's not going to be easy. The last video I showed you guys, there were 23 guys from all around the world taking part of the Arnold Classic. It's been confirmed right now. There's now 29 athletes from so many different countries who are going to bring their best physique. So it's going to be war. Everybody is working hard in their own corner of the world, and it's my job to train as hard as possible and to make it impossible for me to believe that somebody else is working harder than me. So yeah, I'm putting the work. I'm putting the work in the gym. I'm putting the work with the diet. I'm making sure I'm resting as much as I can when I need to, So yeah, everything is going according to plan, and fingers crossed, and touch wood, it keeps going like that to the end of the prep. So yeah, but in this video, as you guys can tell by the title, I want to talk to you guys about mistakes to avoid during prep. I've done a similar video about 2 or 3 months ago where I was speaking about the mistake to avoid during the off season, because we were on off season back then. If you haven't seen the video, I'll put a link in the description box. So now that we're deep in the middle of the prep, I thought it makes sense for me to make a similar video and to share that with you guys. So either you're thinking of competing for the first time, or you've done the show already and you're thinking of doing your second show, or even if you're an experienced competitor, I hope that this video will be useful for you guys and you could take one thing or two with you to help you avoid making some easy mistakes that could prevent you from completing the journey that it takes to get stage ready. So if that's something that's interested to you, don't go anywhere. It should be a good one. Alright guys, so mistakes to avoid during prep time. Took some notes, and hopefully I can make this as short and as detailed as possible with as much information that I can share. And like I said earlier, hopefully, whether you're an experienced competitor or you're thinking of competing for the first time, or you competed already and you're still like a beginner, hopefully this video could be helpful for you guys, because getting ready for a show is hard. It's not easy. It's very hard. I usually tell people, competing is open for everyone, but not everyone can do it. And there's a reason why, because it takes a lot of sacrifices, it takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of dedication, and it takes a lot of mental strength to complete the process. I'm not even talking about stepping on stage to win. I'm talking about just completing the process of the prep to get stage ready. Alright guys, so we're gonna go straight into it. No time to waste. Let's go. Alright guys, so we're going to start in no particular order. Mistake number 1, which I believe is a crucial mistake and is an easy mistake to do, which is focusing on what everybody else is doing. Focusing on what the competition is doing, your competitors. Don't waste your time, don't waste your energy, don't waste your effort doing that, okay? Because at the end of the day, you should focus on what you can control. And the only thing you can control is what you doing. It doesn't matter what competitor A or B are doing, because as a result, if you keep looking at what others are doing, that's going to lead you to mistake number two, which is you're always going to constantly second guessing yourself. Okay, so that mistake number one, focusing on what everybody else is doing when you're not even, you cannot control what everybody else is doing. You can only control what you're doing. But if you keep focusing your attention on, oh, let me see what this guy is doing, you're going to keep second guessing yourself, which is a massive mistake. And that's mistake number two. Because if you keep second guessing yourself, you're just going to confuse things. Getting ready for a show is not easy. Okay, so don't make it harder than what it already is. Okay, so second guessing yourself with your diet. You seeing a fellow competitor eating Cocoa Pops for breakfast. You want to eat Cocoa Pops, all right? So you're gonna tell yourself, oh, because this guy is eating cereals and Cocoa Pops for breakfast, I can't eat that. You need to understand, first of all, what somebody else is doing for their physique is not necessarily gonna work for you. What somebody else is doing for their physique is not even guaranteed it's gonna work for them. Alright guys, once again, remember, you cannot focus on what you cannot control. You cannot control what somebody else is eating, okay? So if you second guessing your diet, the plan that you have will be useless. Alright guys, it will be useless. You're gonna start stressing. And the more you stress, the body reacts to it. Okay, like I say again, I'm going to say that many times, getting ready for a show is not easy, it's hard. So don't make it harder than what it already is. You need to be, and getting ready for a show can be stressful. So, but you don't want to stress for something that, because of something that you saw on Instagram or on Insta story from a fellow competitor. You see the way they eat, and you see they're always eating Nando's, or they're eating pizza, or they're eating whatever. It doesn't matter. What somebody else is doing should not affect you at all. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, we all built differently. When it comes to the diet, we are built differently. So you need to follow a diet that's going to suit your physique type. Alright guys, so if you have a plan of action, there's a reason why that plan was created in the first place. It was for you to follow it. Okay, so don't look at what everybody else is doing, because you're going to confuse yourself. You're going to keep second guessing what you're doing instead of just following. You know that you have to eat that food, and you're thinking, maybe I can add that because I saw somebody else adding this. Man, that's game over from the start. Okay guys, so that's two mistakes. Avoid focusing on what others are doing, because it's going to lead you to mistake number two, which is going to keep second guessing yourself. Even when it comes to training, you know what I mean? Like, especially with Instagram, everybody's trying to create something new. Listen guys, you can watch my workout videos, you will see there's nothing. Sometimes, you could learn something new, but it's nothing new. What I mean by that is that you can learn something new from my workout videos by seeing an exercise that you never done before. So you could think, oh wow, I've never seen this before, let me try it. But there's a lot of people in this social media life, like people trying to do everything for likes, by creating new exercises that don't need to be created. Stick to the basics work. You know what I mean? So train the way works for your physique. Diet the way works for your physique. Don't worry about what A and B are doing. You know what I mean? Like me, I could care less. Sometimes I go on Instagram and see what fellow competitors are eating. I see the way they train. I could give a fuck. It's not going to affect me. It's not going to change anything in what I'm supposed to do. I have my own way of training that works, and I have my own way of dieting that works. So I'm never going to second guess myself. I'm never going to second guess the way I train just because I've seen somebody else doing something. Remember, what somebody else is doing might not work for you, and what somebody else is doing might not even work for them. So just focus on what works for you. Okay guys, so I say again, mistake number one, don't focus on everybody else, focus on you only, because you can only control what you're doing. And mistake number two, second guessing yourself. don't. Those two I kind of link together, but I decided to separate them. So that's the first two mistake, guys. Mistake number three, not tracking your macros, not tracking your calorie intake. Massive mistake. I'm not gonna lie to you. The first few shows that I did on my first year of competing, I did not diet. I did not count the macros or calories, but that's because I was that guy that did not believe in dieting, because I was I was known as Mr. Eat everything and still look good. So I was eating takeout every day. There was no structure in the way I was eating. I was just eating everything and anything, but I was training my ass off at the gym with my brother. So and my body was reacting well to the training, and the food I was eating was not damaging my physique from the outside anyway. So I still looked decent. So for me, my abs were showing. I had muscle definition. You know, I was lean all year round. No cardio, no diet. So I did not believe in that. You know, it's not until my second year of competing that I started to understand the importance of dieting, and obviously that's when I started to win shows. So it does make a big difference when you start tracking your meals and tracking your calorie intake, because when you get ready for a show, you try to lean down to a level of shredness that not everybody can do, you know, or can reach, while trying to maintain as much muscle fullness as possible. So to be able to do this, everything needs to be, you know, calculated properly. You need the right amount of calories, the right amount of carbs, the right amount of fat, and the right amount of protein. Thank God my brother is helping me with that because it takes a lot of time, you know, it takes a lot of time, because I know when I'm doing meal plan for my clients, it takes a lot of time. You cannot just write eat this and this. You need to calculate, make sure everything, you know, makes sense. So big shout out to my big brother 18, you know, he's the one who's taking care of my diet prep for this year, you know, so I don't have to worry about that. But everything is calculated, because how do you know if you're eating enough? And how do you know if you're not starving yourself? You know, because is getting ready for a show, obviously you want to get shredded, so some people might do the mistake of cutting carbs, cutting this, and they're getting leaner every day, they're getting shredded, they're seeing lines popping, but they're flat. They're flatter than this, like a straight line. Why? Because maybe you did not have enough protein to keep the muscle fullness, you didn't have enough fat, you didn't have enough carbs, everything was not enough. So the best way to know is to track your macros, track your calorie intake. And if you don't know how to do that, there's a lot of websites online, there's a lot of app available that allow you to calculate those things, and there's a lot of websites that explain to you how to calculate that. And if you still don't understand that based on what you're reading online, then my advice would be to get a coach, you know, get a coach that could help you with this, you know, because especially if you want to take this, if you want to compete and do well. I mean, once again, I'm not talking about lifting trophy yet. I'm just talking about do well in terms of stepping on stage with a physique that you're happy with. And the best way to do that is to be able to not only train properly, but eat properly. The training part, you might be able to do this on your own if you know. The diet part, if you don't know nothing about it, I say get a coach, you know, that knows what they're talking about to be able to help you with this, because you need to track your macros and your calories to be able to know and to make the adjustments needed, you know, to make sure that you're not getting lean too fast, or you're not losing too much muscle, and everything stay intact, you know, everything stays well, and you know, yeah, you know what I mean. So mistake number 3, not tracking your calorie intake, your macros. Definitely do it. And that's coming from a guy who did not believe in none of that shit. Ask all my friends, they tell you I never used to believe in dieting, you know, until I won my first show, and I was like, you know what, if that's what it takes to win, I'm gonna keep on dieting. It's cool, our diet, it is what it is. But yeah, if you want to do well, you want to bring a good stage physique, tracking your macros and calories is key. Mistake number 4, cheating on your meal plan. Guys, cheating on your meal plan. Meal plan is a plan. Follow the plan. Alright, so if you have someone, a coach, or like myself, I have my brother, who is very knowledgeable in the aspect. You have someone that does that create a meal plan for you. There's a reason why. It's a plan for you to follow. So this way, if you follow everything that was supposed to be followed, and let's say if your physique doesn't change the way it's supposed to, then your coach can make the changes, because your coach could say, okay, you follow that plan, okay, let's make some adjustment. But if you don't follow the plan, the adjustment that your coach will do will be useless, because your coach will believe that you followed everything, but you didn't, So it's very crucial to follow the plan. Don't cheat on your plan, okay? If you're supposed to eat rice, chicken, and vegetable, and you're supposed to eat like a certain amount of rice, like 300 grams of rice, or 200 grams of chicken breast, or vegetables or whatever. Like, if there's those numbers on paper for you to eat, there's a reason for it. Follow it, because I'm telling you guys, since I started dieting for my shows, which was 2014, which is where it started, when I started to win shows. Every show that I did from then, the shows that I did not win, whether I came second or third, or if I didn't place, I could not blame the diet, because I couldn't say it's because I didn't follow the plan. I've always followed the diet plan, So at least that's one thing out of your head, So you want to be able to follow everything, and then by the end of the journey, if you don't get the result that you wanted, at least you can say you gave your best. And how can you give your best if you didn't follow the plan properly? Okay, so don't cheat on your meal plan. It's there for a reason, Don't, you're supposed to eat rice and you eat pasta instead. No, it doesn't matter. Just eat what you're supposed to eat. Don't cheat on your meal plan. If you have a coach and you want to understand why you have to eat those meals, ask the question, because at the end of the day, you want to learn. You want to know why you're eating those meals, okay? So don't be afraid to ask the question to your coach, why am I supposed to eat that? Why am I supposed to eat that much? So this way you can understand the reasoning behind the plan, and maybe by understanding the plan, it will make you want to follow it even more, because okay, by eating this and this, my body should be like this way, and this way. Alright guys, so mistake number 4, don't cheat on your meal plan. Follow the plan, okay, and make adjustment based on how your physique is changing. But if you don't follow the plan and you make changes, in my opinion, it will be useless, because you didn't follow the plan in the first place. Alright guys, so mistake number 4, don't cheat on your meal plan, guys. Mistake number 5, the lack of meal planning. That's something that's so annoying, lack of meal planning. I'll give you an example. If you know you're going to spend 4, 5, 6 hours outside because you're going to a family event or a birthday event, or you're going shopping with your missus or your partner, whatever, that should not be an excuse for you to not eat your meal at the time that you're supposed to eat your meal. Okay? If you don't, that's the lack of planning. Like for me, it doesn't matter. Like every time I prep for a show, there's always an event going on. Whether it's a family birthday or a barbecue, like there was a barbecue a few weeks ago, or there's always something going on that there's going to be some good food and I cannot eat. I have my bag with me, it's time to eat, boom, lunchbox, food, finished, close, put it back, chill, 2 more hours later, open another one, eat, everything. And it doesn't matter if I'm outside, I need to eat at the right time. This is what you call planning. You need to plan your food, you should not be in that situation where you spend 4 or 5 hours outside and you don't have any of your meals with you. So as a result, you go to Tesco and you tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to buy this and this as an alternative because it fit my macros. Listen, that's what I said. Don't cheat on your meal plan. If you're supposed to eat that, just eat it. Remember mistake number 4, don't cheat on your meal plan. And the lack of meal planning will make you cheat on your meal plan. Alright guys, because like I said, you're outside, you don't have your meal, and the excuse is because, we outside for a few hours, I didn't think we were going to spend that long. Listen, when my missus tells me, okay, we're going to go out shopping for food, even if she says it's for an hour, if I have a feeling that's going to be more than an hour, man, I'll bring in my meal with me for sure, just in case, because if you're supposed to eat at 1 o'clock and you eat at 2 o'clock instead, it makes a massive difference in my eyes anyway, in my opinion. If you're supposed to eat at 1 o'clock and you don't eat at 1 o'clock and you don't have no food with you, so as a result you go to shop to buy alternatives just because they fit the calories intake or macros or whatever. For me, this is bullshit. Like, organize yourself, prep your meal in advance. Like, all my meals for today were prepped yesterday. Sometimes I wake up early in the morning if I if I don't have time to cook the meal before the day before. I wake up early in the morning. I didn't have time the night before. Cool. Wake up early in the morning, cook everything for the day, so it's done. You know, right now all my meals are done. I'm gonna eat after I finish recording this video, and then everything's prepared. I don't have to worry about it. If I have to go out for a few hours right now, I can take my meals with me. Put them in the microwave for a few minutes, so this way they stay warm a bit longer and they're ready to be eaten when it's time to eat. Alright guys, so organize yourself properly. Like anything in life, you want to be successful, you need to be organized, and you need to not cheat on the plan. Alright guys, so I'm recording from a different angle right now because my battery died. So it's just charging right now as I'm speaking to you. So I'm closer to the charger connection. So, but yeah, don't mind that. So let's go over the first 5 mistakes that we went through. So mistake number 1, focusing on what everybody else is doing. Don't do that. It's a waste of energy and waste of time, because it's going to lead you to mistake number 2, which is constantly second guessing yourself. If you keep second guessing yourself, it's going to make the prep more stressful than what it already is and harder than what it already is. So, that's the last thing that you want. Mistake number 3 was not tracking your macros and calorie intake. It's very important to do so, especially if you really want to bring a physique that that's proper stage ready, shredded and fullness and everything, looking good. You need to know how much you're eating, if you're eating too much or if you're not eating enough. All right, so make sure you track those macros and calories intake. Mistake number 4, cheating on your meal plan. Don't cheat on your meal plan. It's a plan for a reason. Follow the plan. All right, guys. Mistake number 5, lack of meal planning. Okay, so the 5 and 4 are kind of linked together, because if you keep lacking of your meal planning and you don't prep your meal on time, or you go outside, you don't have your meal with you, that's going to lead you to mistake number 4, which is going to make you cheat on your meal. You're going to go to Sainsbury's or Tesco and to buy an alternative meal just because it fits your macros. That's the last thing that you want to do. Alright guys, so that's the first 5 mistakes that we spoke about so far in this video. I hope that that's been helpful in one way or another. So we got 5 more mistakes to go. So mistake number 6, too much cardio too fast. Alright, so that's another massive mistake. People think I need to get ready for a show, I need to get shredded. You're right, you need to get shredded. Some people think I need to do a lot of cardio. People do 2 hours cardio in the morning, 2 hours cardio in the evening. That's you don't want to be at that stage. And especially if you're doing this from the start. Like something that I learned over the years is when the cardio start, when the prep starts, the cardio that we do, are very, like small amount of time. It's a very small amount of time. Slowly you're increasing it, very slowly, but you're increasing according to how your physique changes. All right. So, for example, let's say if you start with 20 minutes after a session, and see how your body reacts to it. And then if you need to increase it a little bit more, increase it a little bit more. But don't start straight to doing 2 hours cardio from the start just because you want to get shredded, because all this cardio that you're doing, you're going to burn more muscle than you need to burn. So as a result, yes, you're going to lose weight, you're going to lose fat, you're going to look leaner, but you're going to lose muscles that you work so hard to have. All right, so doing too much cardio too fast is a big mistake. So start slowly, and increase it maybe weekly or every 2 weeks or every week and a half, or depending on how your physique look like, you just increase it. You want the prep to go smooth. All right, so there's no rush. No rush. And the best way to make sure that it goes smooth and that there's no rush is to make sure that you don't do mistake number 4 and 5, which is cheat on your meal plan and don't organize your meal planning, because if you do this, then your body will not change according to what you thought you were supposed to be. And as a result, you're going to feel so much pressure and so much rush to start doing crazy amount of cardio. Whereas if you were to follow the plan and your body, reacts properly, you're losing body fat, it's very slowly at the right speed while keeping the muscle fullness. Trust me, you won't be doing that much cardio. Like right now, we're 6 weeks out. I'm not even doing that much cardio compared to the previous prep. You know, so that's the best position that you want to be able to just do a small amount of cardio and rely more on your diet to trim down to that shredded condition. All right, guys. So that was mistake number 6 to avoid. Don't do too much cardio too quick. We're gonna do to mistake number 7, which is a massive, massive mistake. And this is a misinformation. That is everywhere, and this is stopping to train heavy, like not training heavy anymore. How many times have you heard someone say, if you want to get shredded or lean, you need to lift lighter and do 20, 30, 50 reps. If you want to get big, you need to do heavier and do 4, 6 reps. Listen, you need to lift heavy, because that's what is going to help you build the muscle tissue. You need to lift heavy, especially when you're prepping, because like I say, you want to keep as much muscle fullness as possible when you're getting shredded. Lifting heavy weight and I'm not talking about doing 1, 2 reps. I'm talking about lifting some heavy weight and being able to do maybe between 8 and 12 reps, for example. It's going to help you keep that muscle fullness. It's going to help you with that density, And that's what you want. You can step on stage. You want the muscle bellies to just pop out. And the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to lift heavy. Obviously, the weight that you're going to lift when you're 2 weeks out of a show are not going to be the same that when you're like 15 weeks out of a show. That's normal, because your energy level is low, But you should not have this mindset of thinking, I'm going to lift light today. Always lift as heavy as you can and just rep it out. Obviously, 1 week out of the show, you do your depletion workout, where you will be more focused on the squeeze and the contraction. You're going to do some slow reps, so the weight won't be that heavy. But I strongly believe that 1 week out of a show, ideally you want to be already stage ready, so you can afford to do those depletion workout where you're just repping out, squeezing and contracting, and obviously, the work is already done by then, But while you're prepping, don't fall into the trap of believing you have to reduce the weight and do 30, 40 reps to get shredded. Like, I'm still training the same way that I was training my off-season. Touch wood, no injuries, but I'm still lifting as heavy as I can, still doing those 8 to 12 reps, still doing those drop down sets, the super set, I'm still pushing myself and strength-wise, because I know that's where it's going to keep my muscle full, and that's where it's going to keep the density in my muscle while I'm losing the body weight and the body fat. Alright, guys, so that's mistake number 7. Stop training heavy just because you're in prep and you believe that you have to lift lighter and higher reps to get shredded. That's all wrong. Alright, guys. So mistake number 8, another massive mistake to avoid, which is not practicing your posing enough. People underestimate posing. Alright, how many times have you seen comment on Instagram or even YouTube videos where people say, "Oh, the guy that came 3rd or 4th should have come 1st. He looks way better than the guy that came 1st and 2nd." Might be true, but like my brother always told me, you might have the best physique, but if you don't know how to display it, how can you let the judges see how good your physique is? Like, somebody that may not be as conditioned as you or as full as you, somebody that may not even look as good as you, can place higher than you just because they knew how to display that physique properly. You have to remember, posing is an art, it's an illusion game. It's almost like you're doing a magic trick. So when it comes to men's physique, you want to pose in a way to make your waist look as small as possible. You want to make your lats pop out. You want to make your chest full. You want to pose in a way that you are exactly what the judges are looking. And the best way to do that is to practice your posing. I practice my posing every day. Like every day. That's why the way I pose, I believe, is flawless. I try to make it as flawless as possible. There's no hard, stiff posing. I'm just going as smooth, like just flow like water, and that comes with a lot of practice. So even if you're doing bikini, bodybuilding, classic physique, men's physique, practice your posing. Don't underestimate the power of posing, because if you know how to pose, that can give you some extra points. Trust me, I'm telling you. I've seen this with my own eyes, where someone, was looking incredible, but did not know how to pose and end up finishing third. So you don't want to be that. You don't want to see people putting comments and saying, "Oh, you should have won, you should have won," and deep down you know why you did not win. It's because you did not know how to pose. Avoid that. All right. So practice your posing all the time. Between sets, after a workout, spend a day, dedicate a day just for posing, but practice your posing every day. But if you can dedicate a day where you spend like half an hour, 45 minutes, even an hour practicing your posing, all right, that will also help you with your condition as well. So practice your posing for sure. Mistake number 9, we're almost at the end. I would say is not giving 100%. Not giving 100% of everything. If you give 100% in your training, but you don't give 100% in your diet, you're not giving 100%. If you give 100% in your dieting, but you don't give 100% in your training, you don't give 100%. If you give 100% in both your training and your dieting, but you don't give 100% in the rest time, like you need to rest, then it's not 100%. Like everything needs to be 100%. Everything. You not 99, not 99.9. Everything needs to be 100%. That's why I always tell people when I'm getting ready for a show, it's on or off. It's like a light switch. There's like, when you try to switch off the light, there's no in between. You're either on or you're off, and that's it. And when I'm on, I'm on. It's 100% everything. My mindset, my head, all I think about is the show. And I'm in the gym, I'm pushing myself, and I'm eating my meal. I know it's gonna help me to build the physique that we want to bring on stage. When I'm resting, I know that I'm recovering, ready for the next day. Everything needs to be 100%, guys. No slacking, no slacking with the training, saying, "Oh, I don't feel like doing this exercise today." Listen, if you know this exercise is going to help you to make those progress, do it. At the end of the day, you need to do things that you know you need to do even when you don't want to do it. All right, guys? So give 100%. You need to eat those meals that you don't want to eat, even when you're not hungry, or even, just eat it. You have to eat. Just give 100%. You need to rest even when you don't want to rest. I mean, there are times where I know I have to rest, but I want to go to the gym, but I have to rest because at the end of the day, my body needs to recover so I can give 100% the following day. Do you know what I mean? Or the following week, So give 100% of everything, guys. All right. No slacking if you want to bring a good physique on stage. And that will lead to mistake number 10, which is the last mistake. I don't know if it's a mistake for some people, but for me it is, which I'll say competing for the wrong reason. So why are you competing? Why do you want to compete? You need to have a good reason why, all right? Because if you're doing it for the wrong reason, that's a massive mistake, because it's not going to help you when times are getting hard. When you get to that stage where you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do your cardio, if you don't have a good reason why you're doing this, man, you're gonna stay in bed. Like many times I wake up at 5 or 4, half 4 to do my cardio, and thinking, God, I just want to stay in bed. But then the reason why I want to do it, which is to be number one, I'm up straight. So find your own reason. It doesn't have to be because you want to be number one, but find your own reason why you're competing. Find your reason why you want to compete, and find a good reason. Don't just compete because you're seeing people on Instagram, like competitors on Instagram, and driving the fancy cars, traveling the world, doing the expos. You can do those things. You can get in that lifestyle if you want, without having to compete. I'm telling you, there's a lot of guys that don't compete that are doing quite good in the fitness industry. So make sure you find a good reason why you want to compete. Your why needs to be so strong and so powerful that when your motivation is low, that's what's going to kick your ass up off the bed. That's what's going to kick your ass to the gym. That's what's going to kick your ass to the kitchen and prep your meal and eat. The reason why, like my head, I'm thinking I need to be number one, I have to be number one, I want to be number one, I need to be number one, I want to be number one, I have to be number one. And that's the reason why I'm still competing. Like, I love the process of competing. I love how far you can take your physique, you know, to make you look a certain way. But most importantly, I love the feeling of winning, and I want to be the best in my class, in my federation. So that's the reason why I'm competing, and that's strong enough for me to go through the whole process of what it takes to get stage ready. All right, guys, so find your reason, okay? Find a good reason. It might take you some time, but once you have that good reason why, trust me, it's going to make the prep a bit easier, okay? Because it's never going to get, prep is never going to be easy, but it's going to be easier in terms of going through those hard period of time where things are getting hard and you're getting tired, you don't want to do things, you don't want to train, you don't want to eat, you don't, you know, so yeah, don't compete for the wrong reason, because if not, you're not going to succeed. And what I mean by succeed, I'm talking you're not going to successfully complete the process of what it takes to get ready for a show. All right, so this is it. This is I try to do as quick as short as possible. So this is a video that I hope is going to help some people out there, whether you're thinking of competing for the first time or you've done the show before, you're a beginner or you're an experienced competitor. I hope that's going to help you. I know, like I said, I've done a video similar to that for off-season, so it made sense for me to do a similar video now that we're in prep time and we're 6 weeks out of the Arnold Classic. So feel free to leave your comment, feel free to like, feel free to share, and yeah, thank you very much for watching my videos. And until the next time, you know what I say all the time. Until the next time, stay motivated, keep grinding, keep working, and if you're prepping for a show, don't do any of those mistakes, man. I'm giving you those information that I hope that you're gonna put in your head and use them. Don't cheat on your meal or, you know, any of those things, and then you'll have a higher chance of successfully complete your prep. So peace.